A lot of people think autistic people lack empathy, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Today, we're breaking down what empathy actually looks like for autistic people, why it's so misunderstood, and why it's often a whole lot deeper than people realize. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Michelle, and I'm an autistic woman raising 3 autistic kids with my ADHD husband. Before we get started, could I please ask you to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell? It really does help the channel and our community grow. And if you'd like to stay until the end of the video, I'm doing a little tour of the garden as well. So many of you have commented on it, so I thought you'd like to see a little bit more of it. Dispelling the empathy myth. So let's dive straight into one of the biggest and most harmful myths out there, the idea that autistic people lack empathy. If you're autistic, you've probably heard this at least once in your life, maybe directly or indirectly. Maybe someone said you seemed cold, or maybe someone assumed you didn't care because you didn't react the exact way that they expected. Or maybe you've even questioned yourself. Do I lack empathy? Am I missing something? Well, trust me, you're not. What actually happens is autistic people often show empathy differently, and the world often misreads that as difference or lack of empathy. Now let's talk about the 2 main types. Number 1, cognitive empathy. So this is the ability to understand what someone is feeling. This is where many autistic people struggle, especially when the emotional situation is unfamiliar, fast-paced, or socially complex. It's not that we don't care, it's that we might need more time or more clarity to figure out what's actually happening. And number 2, affective empathy. This is when you feel the emotion with someone, and here's the twist. Many autistic individuals have incredibly strong affective empathy, sometimes so strong that it becomes overwhelming. Recent research from 2024 actually suggests that autistic people often feel emotional resonance more intensely than neurotypical people, but struggle with immediate interpretation. Think of it like this. We feel the wave before we know which direction it's coming from. Empathy overload. One of the most misunderstood experiences is something called empathy overload. Let me give you an example. There might be a time when a close friend's going through something really distressing, and the moment they share it with you, you feel this heavy emotion hit your chest, almost like the feeling isn't theirs anymore, but it's yours too. But instead of reacting instantly, you freeze, and then you quietly slip away, but not because you don't care, but because you care so much that your brain can't handle the sensory and emotional load all at the same time. You may need a quiet moment, a quiet space to separate your feelings from theirs, so you can regulate and come back with compassion instead of panic. And this is something a lot of autistic people experience. We withdraw because we care too much, not too little. We look calm because we're trying not to fall apart. We take time to respond because we want to get it right. Empathy overload doesn't look like what people expect, but it is empathy, deep, powerful empathy. The autistic experience of empathy. When you actually talk to autistic people, not the stereotypes, you hear stories of intense emotional connection. Some autistic people describe feeling so deeply connected to the people that they love that it almost feels physical. Others talk about empathy through action, fixing things, offering solutions, checking in at 3 a.m. when they sense something is off, even if the person hasn't said a word. Here are some ways autistic empathy often appears. Number 1, loyalty that runs deep. If an autistic person cares about you, they often care with their whole heart. They'll defend you, stand up for you, and stay with you through things most people would quietly back away from. Number 2, fairness and justice. Many autistic individuals have a strong moral compass. When someone is treated unfairly, we feel it deeply, sometimes more than we feel our own distress. Number 3, practical empathy. Instead of saying, "Oh no, that's awful," we might say, "Okay, here's what we can do to fix this." This isn't coldness, it's our way of helping. And number 4, empathy through interests. Sometimes we express care by sharing knowledge, resources, or special interests because that's our way of connecting. It's not random, it's intentional. Number 5, quiet emotional presence. Some autistic individuals don't show big emotional reactions, but they offer presence, routine stability, and deep emotional consistency. All of these are valid forms of empathy, they just don't match the stereotypical social script. The double empathy problem. Now, this is one of my favourite concepts because it explains so much. Dr. Damien Milton coined the double empathy problem, and to this day, it's one of the clearest explanations of why autistic and non-autistic people sometimes misunderstand each other. He says it's not that autistic people lack empathy, it's that empathy is a two-way street, and neurotypical people often struggle to empathise with autistic ways of experiencing the world. Now, this is huge. It shifts the narrative from autistic people don't get it to both sides are struggling to understand each other. It's like having two people who speak different emotional languages. Neither is wrong, they just need translation. I just so happen to have a full video on the double empathy problem. So if this part interests you, you can go watch that after this one. So how can non-autistic people better understand autistic emotional expression? Number one, look beyond facial expressions. Some autistic people don't show emotion on their face in ways that others expect. So instead of assuming blank face equals no emotion, try paying attention. Body posture, tone of voice, words spoken directly, repetitive movements, or even the absence of movement. Sometimes stillness is emotional regulation. Number two, be direct and clear. If you want to know how an autistic person feels, just ask directly. Don't rely on hints, the silent, you know what you did, or emotional detective work. We communicate better when it's straightforward. Number three, don't punish delayed emotional responses. Some autistic individuals need time to process emotions before reacting. That's not a lack of care, it's thoughtful regulation. And number four, validate different emotional styles. If someone doesn't cry, hug, laugh, or gasp at the moment you expect them, then that doesn't mean they're emotionless. They might just express emotion differently or more privately. Creating a safe, calm, predictable emotional space allows autistic people to connect more easily. Neurodiversity and emotional connection. I want to take a moment to really celebrate neurodiversity. Different emotional styles aren't flaws, they're diversity. They make humanity richer. Autistic emotional connection has its own beauty. It's authentic, it's deep, and it's loyal. It's grounded in truth and presence. It's often built on shared interests and genuine understanding. Some of the strongest relationships I've seen, like friendships, romantic partnerships, family bonds, are autistic relationships built on acceptance rather than social performance. Science backs this up too. New neuroimaging research from late 2024 found that autistic brains have distinct but equally functional emotional processing pathways. The way we feel and process emotion isn't broken or less than. It's simply different, and different is okay. Different is human. Different is beautiful. Fostering inclusive understanding. So what can we all do, autistic and non-autistic people alike, to build a more empathetic world? Number one, challenge old stereotypes. So when you hear autistic people lack empathy, push back, gently but firmly, and try and re-educate them. Number two, be curious instead of assumptive. Ask, listen, and learn, and don't assume everyone experiences emotion the way you do. Number three, support autism acceptance communities. There are so many autistic-led organisations, support groups, and online platforms and creators, who share resources about authentic autistic experience. Number four, create safe spaces. Spaces where people can express emotion without judgment. Spaces where direct communication is welcomed. Spaces where differences aren't just tolerated but valued. Empathy isn't one thing. It isn't one expression, one tone of voice, one social script, or one typical reaction. Autistic empathy is real, it's deep, it's powerful, and it deserves to be recognised, understood, and valued. Thank you so much for joining me for this conversation. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it to help our community grow. And don't forget, my video on the double empathy problem is linked for you in the description if you want to explore this topic even further. So if you want to hang around for another minute, I'm just going to show a little preview of the garden. and I'll see you in the next one. I'd really love to take credit for this garden, but I really don't have a green thumb. This is my parents' yard, and they very kindly let me film my videos here. So this is all of their hard work. So I hope you enjoy it.